Hey folks, it's Ardwulf. Welcome. Today we're going to have a quick discussion about the newly announced 2020 release schedule for multi-man publishing. I was going to do a video about just Great Campaigns of the American Civil War and what the plans were for that. But between what I heard at the Designers Forum, at the event, and now all that's spilled already anyway. So we're going to include that in here. We will do another separate video about Great Campaigns of the American Civil War, which will be a little different than I had originally planned, but stay tuned for that. So, on the slate for Multiman Publishing for 2020. This is on Multiman's webpage, so just go there, multimanpublishing.com. It's time for our 2020 production forecast. I hope there's someone here for everyone. Okay. For Advanced Squad Leader, reprint of Croix de Guerre with the Denant HASL. That's done. That's out. If you have pre-ordered that, you probably will be getting it relatively soon, like in the next few weeks. There's Winter Offensive Bonus Pack number 11. Same deal with that. The reprint of King and Country has made its pre-order number, and so it will hit this year as well. And they told me that at Winter Offensive as well. There will be a new ASL starter kit for pre-order with Japanese battles and Chinese troops. So one wonders what new rules will come into play with this. Or is this like an expansion, like a bonus pack or something like that? We'll see when that happens. That will be put on pre-order at some point. Probably we'll actually see it next year. I know it's real easy to be relatively cynical about these release schedules, by the way, but Multiman has actually been not so bad at hitting their targets. One thing I've noticed is that Multiman seems to not put something up for pre-order until it is basically ready, which is not the approach taken by a couple of other publishers. So, and then things sit on pre-order, having made their number for a long time. But anyway, the Area Movement Series, Storm over Jerusalem, will go on to pre-order. That is something I saw on a couple of tables actually at Winter Offensive. There seemed to be a lot of interest in that. I'm personally not into that series, but Storm over Jerusalem will be coming. It's weird actually that I'm not into it because I'm into Roman stuff. But, you know, it is what it is. So I have no intention at this time of pre-ordering that. I'll talk about that at the end. The Battalion Combat Series, the next game in the series will be Panzer's Last Stand, which I believe is late war in Hungary. That will go on pre-order. Great Campaigns of the American Civil War. This should go up for pre-order sometime in the next month or so. Hood Strikes North, which is the new one-map Great Campaigns of the American Civil War game on John Bell Hood's campaign into Tennessee in 1864. They had a bunch of people playing this at Winter Offensive. It looks really cool. I will definitely be pre-ordering this myself. There will also be, and this is kind of the big Great Campaigns of the American Civil War surprise news out of Winter Offensive, is that they will be offering a reprint of Stonewall Jackson's Way 2. Now, it does need to make its number. I don't know what that number will be, but it will have counters updated to match the counter style in the last two games, Atlanta Is Ours and Roads to Gettysburg 2, which a lot of people prefer. I probably agree with that preference. So it's got to make its number. I am committed to ordering one, even though I already have the old one. But, you know, hey, I can use a new counter sheet. I believe that the new counter sheet will be offered separately for those people who already have the old version of Stonewall Jackson's Way 2, so that they can have counters in the new style. The Grand Tactical Series. There is a one-map game, not even a whole map game, actually, on the campaign in the Tsar. For the Grand Tactical Series, this will be in the Grand Tactical Series magazine that MMP is planning. I think the game's basically ready to go from what I hear, and they're just prepping the magazine, so we should see the magazine go up for pre-order. I'll be pre-ordering that too. The Greatest Day Utah Beach, which is the next in the Big D-Day series. I have seen this on table. I've seen it in pictures on tables for at least a couple of years now. Super interested in it. Looks very interesting. Announcement soon on the pre-order for the Devil's Cauldron / Where Eagles Dare / A Magnificent Disaster, which the third of those is the title for the big combination pack. Now, this was on a table at Winter Offensive as well with the 2.0 rules. So that's moving, even though it's not really obvious that it's moving based on what I have heard up until I went to Winter Offensive. So So that's moving. We should get some news on that soon as well. The international game series, Last Stand, the Battle of Moscow, 1941 to 42. I believe that's on pre-order now. Will get printed. A Victory Awaits, which is an older game in the series. We'll get new maps by Nicholas Escoby. That's not a game I'm familiar with, so I don't know what the ramifications of that are. I don't know who did the original maps. I don't know, is it Nick's doing new maps? I don't know. So I don't really have much to say about that. The Operational Combat Series, Hungarian Rhapsody, which is real close to its number. It'll make its number in the next month or so. Will get printed. Third Winter, the Third Winter, will go up for pre-order. That has bluntly been ready for some time, and it's just kind of been waiting for a spot in the queue as far as I can tell. I personally have played it. It's fantastic. It's a day one pre-order for me. I'll be delighted to get my hands on the finished game. Some of the folks I play OCS with have played it 4 or 5 times, and it is getting played again, maybe with some other stuff, but it is getting played again at Winterfest in a couple of weeks. Scorpions in a Bottle. This is it's a Corson Pocket like half map game, not even a half map. It's about a quarter map game. It kind of comes out of Third Winter, but it may be sold as a separate package as well. I think they're still talking about that behind the scenes. It is, in a way, might be a good intro game to OCS, but it's not going to be particularly low counter density. There's going to be a lot of counters on that little 12 by 12 inch map. But I'll be very curious to see what that turns into. I know Curtis was looking into that and running that as his main thing at Winter Offensive. That's Curtis Bear, who's one of the 2 OCS honchos right now. The Standard Combat Series, Iron Curtain, will go on pre-order. For those of you who do not know what this is the SCS Third World War. It's actually pretty neat looking. It covers about the map area of the old GDW Third World War, and since this has become like a hot topic again, I guess we're going to get an SCS Third World War game. Let me talk about that in a minute. And for the Tactical Combat Series, Ariete, which I'm doubtless mispronouncing, that is the Ziploc TCS game, which has made its number, will get printed. One last thing. Special Ops number 10 will go in July with a reprint of Blitzkrieg to Moscow 2, previously released by Bonsai Games. Did I see an ASL journal? I'm pretty sure there will be an ASL journal as well, but I could be wrong because they said there was going to be one. It's probably down here, in fact. Anyway, so let's talk about what we got going on here. So for ASL, we got Croix de Guerre. Screwed my mouse up. Dang it. There we go. We got Croix de Guerre and the Winter Offensive bonus pack. I have those already. I do need a copy of For King and Country, so I have that on pre-order as well, which reminds me again, I got to call my Multiman and get this straightened out. And whatever new starter kit stuff they have, I will just buy. I'm not, buying multiple copies of it or anything, but I'll, whatever. I don't need another copy of the rulebook particularly. What I would probably like to see Multiband do is release a 3rd edition of the rulebook. If they're still in the 2nd edition, and there's still new errata and update pages coming out in every new boxed module, I'd like to see that go away. I think the game is extremely stable at this point. I realize the need for ongoing clarifications, but I think there's better ways to handle that. I think you probably let the rulebook stop growing and create some kind of online FAQ type resource for people to find obscure rules answers. But that's probably worth a whole video of discussion on its own. Area Movement Series. Like I said, this is not a series I'm into. I don't own any of the games in this series. I've never played any of the games in this series. I admit to some level of curiosity about, for example, Breakout Normandy, which I think falls into this category, but I don't have that, so it's not really something I need to worry about. I almost bought Monty's Gamble, the new printing of Monty's Gamble at Winter Offensive, but I had already spent enough money, so we didn't do that. The Battalion Combat Series, Panzer's Last Stand. This is interesting looking. I'm very much intending to start exploring the BCS system in the next couple of months. It's not going to happen in the next month, just because there's way enough going on right now. Way enough going on. Okay, I got the big prep GTS game happening. We've got a prep OCS game happening for other guys who are playing something different at Winterfest. So we got a lot going on, and we got our regular Wednesday game as well. We just started playing Thunder in the East, so I might have something to say about that. Most exciting for me in this entire list is Great Campaigns of the American Civil War. So Hood Strikes North is going to go on pre-order. For those who don't know, however, I will provide you with the additional tidbit that the next game in the series, after Hood Strikes North, will be On to Richmond 2. Now, that is going to contain 3 modules, so what we would have called in the Avalon Hill days 3 whole games. It is going to have On to Richmond, which is the Peninsula campaign. It is going to have Grant Takes Command, which is the Wilderness campaign, and it is going to have an as yet unnamed module, as far as I know, which is going to be the Siege of Petersburg. So that sounds like an amazing package. This is going to be similar in size and scope, and presumably price, to Road to Gettysburg 2, but that is also an amazing package. So these Great Campaigns of the American Civil War things, the more I play of these games, the more I like them. I played literally for an entire day on Long Roads to Antietam at Winter Offensive and had a great time. It's just an amazing game system. So these are day one orders for that. Grand Tactical Series, I'm kind of in the middle of exploring right now. I have done one video on that already. I will have another one at some point. And there will definitely be discussion of that in the Winterfest wrap videos. Because that's what we're playing at Winterfest. However, having played 6 sessions or so of GTS so far, I'm reluctant to like issue a final verdict, but I like what I see so far. So we'll get to that at some point. International Game Series, not a series. It's not really a series in the sense that they're all the same game. They're not, but neither of these are of interest to me. If they're of interest to you, fantastic. Operational Combat Series, anything from OCS. I at one point was saying I was only going to buy OCS games set on the West Front because I know everybody around here has all of the games. That has gone out the window. So we'll be borrowing anything new from OCS that they decide they would like to do. Standard Combat Series is not a game series I own anything on. That's not because I don't like the game system, however, and not that I don't like the series. There are a couple of games in the series that I aggressively dislike, and maybe I'll talk about those at some point, but not today. Iron Curtain is something I'm going to take a real close look at. I'm very curious to see that. One game that I do like in the series is The Mighty Endeavor. If you have watched my previous videos on The Mighty Endeavor, you might have come away with the impression that I had a pretty negative opinion of it. And I kind of did at the time, and after having played it some more and having thought about it a great deal, I actually think it's a quite good and solid game. And in fact, of the 3, I think, SCS games that I've played, I think it's probably my favorite. Tactical Combat Series Ariete, that's Italians in North Africa. I'm curious to see that. I have, I think, 3 TCS games. I would like to see the Tactical Combat Series continue. I think it does some really interesting and unique things. It's got some unique features. So in the name of helping it out a little bit, I might do video on it at some point. I will definitely do something on Ariete when it shows up. That should print this year. Special Ops number 10. I guess I'm buying Special Ops magazine now. Thanks, Multiman. I've got, I think, 4 issues of it now, and it's a pretty good magazine if you're playing more than, say, one series that Multiman does, and I am now. I was before, but now I went from I am following 2 series that MMP publishes to 4 series that MMP publishes, so I'd be an idiot to not buy Special Ops magazine. So that's the, this is January 26th. You will see it tomorrow on the 27th. This is the Multiman Publishing 2020 production forecast. And like I said, they should make this. There's some other stuff like new Italian module for ASL, which is probably not going to hit 2020, but you never know. Sometimes they say, hey, we're gonna get this out this year, like they did with Croix de Guerre, and we hear nothing until like December 15th, and they say, oh yeah, we'll have it at Winter Offensive, just show up and you can buy it. So they're better at this than it might seem. So check this out. get your pre-orders in when these things go live. So I want to thank you for watching. Please give me a thumbs up if you have enjoyed watching the video. Leave me a comment if you have any questions, and I will do my best to answer it. I won't say this video has contained all of the insight that I gleaned from Winter Offensive in it. So if you want to know something else, let me know. I can always say I have no idea. And subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.